last game. Is he okay for this game?
Yeah, Draymond's ready to go.
And Eric Paschall is listed as questionable. Any way he's tipping one way or the other?
Eric's not going to play, so we're going to give him one more game off, try to get ahead of this thing.
And the Kings like to take a lot of three-pointers. They attempt 35 a game. What kind of defense would you like to see against a team that does that on offense?
Well, they got a lot of shooters, and they spread you out. It's especially difficult when you have a big like Bielitsa who can shoot. Chasing a four-man around really opens up the floor. So you have to cover a lot of ground, and you have to be disciplined. You still have to protect the paint and play traditional basketball defense, and then you've got to recover out really far from the hoop. So it puts a lot of stress on your defense.
Oh, Steve, what exactly is the problem? What is exactly the problem with? This is very awkward. What exactly is the problem with Eric? What exactly is it, do you guys need a remedy before he does play?
He's going to play next game, so he's still a little tight. And again, I'm not a doctor, so I'm not going to explain whatever is going on with him, but it should be fine.
Coach, at this point in the year, every team has a lot of improvements to make, but which area do you think that your team is closest to fixing in terms of the issues you've had so far this season?
That implies that we have a lot of areas.
Every team does.
Yeah, but we do have a lot of areas we need to clean up. I think the biggest thing is just learning how to close a game. I think we've improved quite a bit defensively since the beginning of the season. I think we have gained some of our depth back. Getting some of the injured guys back, which gives us some options. I think you can see we have, offensively we have some weapons, and we just need to learn to close games. I think the last few minutes of games have really been a struggle for us, for a young team trying to figure it out. It's so we show a lot of tape. We try to execute stuff in practice. But it's both ends, and there's no substitute for experience. It's can you defend without fouling? Can you recognize what's coming defensively so that you can counter that? And can you execute under pressure when the defense is going to be dramatically stronger and more aggressive? And how do you score against that? So. That's what we've got to figure out.
Coach Kerr, how you doing?
Okay, how are you?
I know you've been asked this a few times, and hopefully I'm asking it a little bit differently. The comparisons, contrast between Steph and Buddy Hill. And Buddy's he's at it again, shooting at a high clip. Is there anything that you see different, or as far as a similarity between the two, quick releases, the timing of when they take these shots, anything that Buddy does do a little bit differently than Steph?
Well, they're different players, but they're both great shooters, and you have to pay attention to them no matter where they are. And Buddy is more of a two-guard, playing off the ball. And Steph is somebody who's going to handle the ball a lot more, shoot off the dribble more, but he's turned himself into a really good player. So he's somebody you have to account for every possession. So he's a handful.
This will be the first matchup facing Luke Walton, coaching the Kings. How do you see him fitting kind of that young core in year one?
Well, I think he's a great fit. I think just having visited with him and talked to him, I know that he gets along well with Vlade and Paschall. I know they really enjoy working together, and I think Luke is really good working with young players. He can relate to these guys. He's still young enough where he's played against a lot of the players who are in the league. And I think that matters, and he's got a really good way of communicating with people. So I think he's going to do really well, and he also has the experience behind him now of having having been a head coach before, understanding his mistakes that he made, and understanding, you know, things that he needs to do better, all the stuff that we all learn as we grow in our respective jobs. I think it becomes not necessarily easier the second time around, but more clear what needs to be done. For me, that really came from being a general manager first, making mistakes in that job, which helped prepare me for the coaching position. But all that stuff matters, and so I think he's going to do a good job.
It's the 3rd anniversary of Craig Sager's death. How well did you know him, and what was your sense of the way that he did this job with a lot of heart?
I knew Segs really well. We worked together at TNT for many years, 8 years, and before that, he covered so many of my games when I was playing in the league. But really got to know him well when we worked together. We used to play golf on the road. One thing he never did was he never had dinner with Segs. He didn't eat dinner. He would just bounce from one bar to the next. And so you could count on seeing him at some point during the night. If you went out the night before a game, you inevitably would run into him. But he didn't like to sit down and have dinner. He was too restless. And that's kind of the way he approached life. He wanted to see everybody. He wanted to meet everybody. He wanted to make sure he was in the most fun places at all times, and he brought a huge energy and a zest for life to his job and to the company, to Turner. So he's missed and always remembered, and I think about him a lot. Just during games, and when I'm getting interviewed at the end of quarters or national games or whatever, I still think about Segs.
Is that it? Great.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate that.